If you're planning a trip to Kolkata for the first time and want to know the main tourist attractions and hidden gems nobody tells you about, then this video is for you. Because today I'll be giving you the top 10 things to do here that allows you to see many of the iconic places in the incredible city of Kolkata, including hidden spots you might not have even heard of.
And as always, the rank from the order is still kind of okay to the best thing you have to come here to see for yourself right now. Starting with the first one.
And the first thing we're going to do is to visit the world-famous Victoria Memorial. As I can't imagine anyone making a trip to Kolkata without checking out the most beautiful place in the whole city that costs about $6 for a ticket for foreigners, but 10 times cheaper if you're from India. You will see that being a recurring theme in the places we're going to talk about. But the monument was built more than 100 years ago as a memorial to Queen Victoria. You can see her statue in the middle alongside many things from the same time in history and painting, so it's pretty much like a museum, and the garden outside is so massive and quite easy to spend several hours just figuring out where to go.
And if the time is right and the weather is tolerable, you can take some pretty insane pictures here. Just don't question why you have to pay 10 times more than the locals.
But forget about that, because up next, we're doing the second best thing to do in Kolkata, and that is to take the iconic yellow taxi in the City of Joy. Since for the longest time, the yellow taxis have been a symbol of Kolkata's history, but due to many of them being too old to move on the road, I'm talking about the car, not the driver. The yellow taxis are literally disappearing, with many locals calling it the end of an era. So you might want to grab one when they're still available.
But they'll always let you take the taxi, because one time the driver told me, "Why do you need a taxi? It's easier to take the bus." Then showed me to the bus, therefore saving me 200 rupees. But then he asked for money because he helped me in a way. It's complicated in India.
But one thing that wouldn't get complicated is how amazing the third thing to do in Kolkata is, and that is to visit the Indian Museum. As you wouldn't believe when I tell you what you're looking at right now, it's literally the oldest museum not only in India, but in entire Asia. And the ticket is also about $6 for tourists, just like the palace from earlier. But what can you find inside the museum? Well, I won't spoil it for you, so you will have to see it for yourself. Also, sometimes there will be events at the museum, as I came during the Holy Festival, and the party was crazy. And the fun didn't end there, because around the museum is also where you will find the local market for you to do some shopping, like a place called New Market in Kolkata, and also a bunch of local restaurants.
And sometimes a lot of those markets and restaurants only open at night, so if you go back to the hotel too early, you don't know what you're missing out on.
What you also don't want to miss out on is going to the oldest zoo in all of India, and that is the Kolkata Zoo, or the Zoological Garden of Alipore, whichever you prefer. Since Kolkata has so many oldest things in India, and this is one of them. But the best part, the ticket was only 50 rupees or 60 cents for tourists at the time of this video. I doubt you'll ever find a zoo cheaper than this one. And no worries, you're not getting any less bang for your buck. It has everything and even more, so definitely give it a visit.
But remember, it gets really hot most of the time, and the place is massive with not really anywhere for you to cool down. So try not to pick the hottest time of the day to go there, because I went in there around 1 PM and it wasn't fun.
But the best thing you can enjoy in Kolkata all day is to eat literally the best food in the entire world. As you've totally heard how India has some of the best food ever invented, but in reality, that saying is nowhere near how delicious the food actually is. You would never imagine how you will find the best Chinese and Japanese food, the best Western food, the best KFC you got to try, and the sweetest desserts and drinks only here in Kolkata. And finally, you don't want to miss the local food like dosa and paneer. Not everyone will love India, but everyone here I know loves the food in Kolkata, as well as the sixth best thing to do, which is going to the Science City. As just like the museum and the zoo, Kolkata has the best of everything, because this is the largest science center currently in India. The ticket only costs about 80 cents, but in order to use some of the attractions, you need a general package costing about $4. But it's easy to spend an entire day over here, especially since you have to wait in line for some of the popular attractions. So if you plan to come here, you might want to dedicate a day just for going to the Science City.
And a bonus tip for all of you visiting here for the first time is that during the rush hours early in the morning or at night, your taxi and Uber driver may not even want to come here and pick you up. So it's better to plan your trip to avoid the busiest time of the day.
And now we're on to the seventh best thing to do, and in most cities around the world, this is where you run out of things to do. But in Kolkata, this is only the beginning, because you haven't visited the iconic National Library of India free for for everyone, and that means free air conditioning. It's literally 38 degrees out there, you would need it. But jokes aside, the number of books they have makes this the largest library in India. And if the weather is nice, the surroundings are great for a relaxing walk, and their trash can design is the coolest you will ever see.
I think most people only go there for the air conditioning because nobody's really reading any books.
But who needs books when you have a place full of adventures and shiny luxury as Kolkata? Because the next thing to do is to check out the legendary Taj Bengal, as not only is this the most luxurious hotel over here, but it also stands as a landmark in Kolkata thanks to its elegant design. Personally, I love coming here for coffee in the morning and maybe some appetizers with friends, especially those who just came to Kolkata and haven't gotten used to the food and water quality on the street.
Also, you know how chaotic it gets whenever you're trying to leave the airport? Well, over here, many 5-star or even upper 4-star hotels will pick you up from the airport, saving you a lot of time and trouble. So I believe the extra hotel price is still worth it.
And what's also totally worth traveling all the way to the city of Kolkata for is to learn yoga from the best of the best. As many of you know, yoga originated in India, some say over 5,000 years ago, making here the hub for all yoga enthusiasts. For example, my friend who's a professional yoga teacher came here to check out my other friend named Sudhir, who runs his own studio called Mystic Yoga, with so many adorable cats. And we had the best yoga lesson ever. But if you type in yoga studio into your Google map, you will find there are literally hundreds of yoga studios in Kolkata alone, so even if you go to a different one every day, it will still take you forever. But before we go to the absolute best thing to do in Kolkata, let's go over some honorable mentions like Quest Mall, the Kolkata Planetarium, the Tonu Tanu Auditorium shaped like a really big egg, and Dum Dum, the city inside Kolkata where the airport is located, and you can find some pretty good food. But finally, the best thing to do in Kolkata is to visit Howrah, because the Howrah Bridge is too awesome not to see it for yourself. This is also where you will find the Howrah railway station, where you can easily hop on the train to visit other parts of India.
But overall, if you pick the right season to visit when it's not too hot and not too rainy, you're most likely going to enjoy your trip.
But when I first came to Kolkata, I was shocked by how the city looked nothing like how America told me India would look like. Because there are too many lies about Asian countries like India that American people like myself still believe to be true. And you can click on the video to find out what they are.